Hey guys, welcome to another episode of Uneducated Opinions. Every week, we'll be discussing a wide variety of topics, including current events, controversial opinions, and philosophical questions. We cannot emphasize enough the fact that we are incredibly unqualified to be giving our opinions on most of these topics due to our complete lack of education. Well, one of us went to college, but that didn't really help. Anyway, let's get started. Recording, okay. We're going to start with Dan because he was so excited about his topic.
No, we roll a die. That's how it goes.
All right.
Oh, Dan, you seem pretty excited.
I'm not excited.
This is when we just hear Ryan roll a dice and he goes, yep, Dan's first.
I mean, I have a die right in front of me.
Same. 1, 2, 3. Let's see. Dan gets a 6-sided. We get 4-sided.
Back.
Naturally.
All right. Let's see. Let me find different die. Okay. Moreau's brown. Dan's Smollett. Dan is white. Let's see. Mike. Mike, you're gonna be black. I'm gonna be blue.
Nice.
Who was white?
Dan.
Damn it. This is some bullshit. This shit's
It's
already...
actually funny.
Those are loaded.
All right, so the order is black, or no, sorry, white, brown, black, and blue are tied. So I'll re-roll those. All right, so it's Dan, Moreau, Ryan, Mike.
Very cool.
All right.
That's the right word, but all right.
I guess we're ready.
Okay. Yeah, I guess we're ready.
All right. I guess I'm going with what's his name again? The Jussie Smollett case. The guy who said he was targeted of a hate crime but made it up.
Dan, officially a lawyer now. I like it.
The actor. I feel like, why was he not,
Arrested?
well,
Executed?
put in jail at least, because if they found the guys who did it, they were most likely probably going to jail.
Wait, who is this?
The actor from
Who
2 years
who faked being brutalized?
Yeah, who faked being jumped by 2 white guys but hired 2 African
actors. Yeah.
to beat him up.
Okay.
Well, and they didn't even really beat him up. They pretended to hit him. But he was found guilty, obviously, but and he lied on the stand, and the judge called him out on it. And so why was he not, sentenced to jail time? Because if they caught, if it actually happened, those people were probably going to jail.
Wait, so what was the sentence? He was found guilty. What happened? What?
Yeah, you mentioned.
I was
that,
watching. I was watching it on the news yesterday.
Oh, so you're an expert on it.
Nah, I was just listening to them saying
It says here it's punishable by up to 3 years in prison and a $25,000 fine.
If they catch you lying under oath.
No, just for everything he was guilty for. He was found on 5 counts of false police reports.
Yeah, and what was funny, what I find, was the news station I was watching. They were because they were he said they were wearing the Make America Great Again hats. They were Trump supporters, blah blah blah. And he's like, I doubt Trump supporters watch Empire. And he's like, I don't think even he's like, I don't even think Jussie Smollett's parents know who Jussie Smollett is.
I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I only know about him because of this.
What? What was he even in? You said he's an actor?
Yeah.
He's in Empire.
He's in Empire.
Yeah. Okay, but I'm white, so I don't...
Yeah,
is that all he's in? Is he in
Trump
anything?
Supporter, you don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But to be fair, there is precedence for there's precedent for making false accusations. The president said Rittenhouse was a white supremacist with 0 evidence. There's precedent for not being punished for saying stupid shit.
I mean, I was told I'd get a wall and I didn't get one.
There's a wall, isn't there? I think there was part of a wall.
Yeah, I wasn't told I'd get part of a wall. I was told I'd get a full wall.
You were
How'd it
told
get
you'd
that?
get a wall. There is a
I
wall.
was
It's just not a
told-
complete one.
I was told it would keep the Mexicans out.
Yeah.
And I find this weird. I find it weird that how Black Lives Matter still stand like says they still stands with him after the verdict. Wouldn't they? Why would they stand with him?
Because he's black. Thought that was pretty
Yeah.
obvious.
Yeah, but I thought you would think they would be like, nah, this guy's literally going against what we want.
Nah.
No, I'm pretty
It's
sure
not about what they want. It's about skin color. And if you're black, they support you. Doesn't matter what you did. That's just how the world is. If you're white, you're evil. If you're black, you're oppressed. If
Like,
you're
the thing
Jewish,
is-
nobody cares.
The thing is, I would feel
No,
bad for him.
everyone cares.
The thing is,
That's wrong.
I would feel bad for him if this happened. Like, if it actually happened to him, if he got jumped and got beat up. Like, yeah, that would suck.
Bitch should have learned how to
No.
fight. I don't know what to tell
If
him.
it happened to him now, everyone would be like, "Motherfucker deserved it."
Well, yeah.
I mean, I would have said he deserved it before knowing who he was.
Damn.
I always blame the victim because it's usually the victim's fault in just about every situation.
Okay, so I'm gonna try to defend Ryan's point here because I think I get what he's saying. So, for example, in Jussie Smollett's
You don't
case,
get what
right,
he's saying.
he's probably anti-gun, but if he had an AR-15 on him, 2 guys is no problem, bro. You got like 60 bullets in that thing.
Yeah, I saw a 16-year-old kill three people. AR-15 it solves a lot of issues.
Yeah, like
On that point, like I read something about like 22 caliber is like not strong, can't kill somebody, blah blah blah. Someone's like, oh, it's all about
What?
shot
Where
placement.
did you read that, Bilber?
It's just I forget what I was reading. It was just a bunch. I always like reading them because like it's just hilarious watching some people defending the 22 and then the other people thinking 22 is like not a real bullet. Anyway, the big thing was they were like, oh, it's all about shot placement. Someone's like, oh, you're not gonna have time to like aim a real shot and get a good shot off under pressure. I'm like, Rittenhouse did it multiple times. So you obviously
I
can.
do it in Tarkov
and-
sometimes.
And the
with
20
a 22, like yeah, you're not gonna have like a big like impact spot, but like the way bullets interact with like bone in your body is like
Oh, yeah.
fucking crazy. They
Oh.
they ricochet all over the place. So,
22
like,
will kill you, no problem.
Yeah,
should
like if you
be.
what
literally
the military
you could
uses.
you could shoot someone in like the shoulder and the bullet will literally come out like their knee. Like that's where because it just bounces around all your fucking bones, just ripping apart your insides. So like
Yeah.
it's
You should have gone for the head.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
Born
and
and
it just bounces around their head and they fucking die. Or paralyzed.
Yeah, but
Like that.
I think we're all in agreement. Jussie Smollett deserved to be beat up, even if he wasn't really beat up, and then now more than ever deserves to be beat up just in jail.
Why? Why did he deserve to be beat up?
I don't know, because for whatever reason he made up a story about being
No,
beat up. He
yeah.
obviously deserved it. Subconsciously,
now-
he knew he
yeah.
deserved it.
Now he deserves it.
My
Maybe
favorite
that's
part of
his
the-
kink.
my favorite part of his whole story is that like they like he like put a noose around his neck, saying like that's what they did, and the cops were like, yeah, you know, you can like take the noose off your neck now. And he's just like, oh yeah, that's right, because he was just talking to them with the noose around his neck.
Wait, did he really?
Yeah, I remember that part of the story. Just hearing that, being like, what the fuck? Like, why?
This is
Yeah,
like
why
would
this
you
is
take
probably
that
like
off?
the
Apparently, what I read was he showed up with. He said he was going to get a sandwich. He showed up with the sandwich. They're like, "Why do you still have the sandwich?"
Well,
how
he
is
forgot
this
his
thing-
AR
how
at
is-
home.
Well, they said like, "How is the sandwich still intact?" Or something. After the fight.
Well, they didn't hurt the sandwich.
sandwich did
they don't
nothing to
have
him.
They don't have anything against the sandwich.
I don't know if that's. I don't know if that's real.
Yeah, I mean
think
the
it just
sandwich
was
wasn't
that
black;
sandwich.
it was just him.
What the
Oh,
fuck?
well, we don't know that. We don't know what kind
Oh,
of sandwich
sorry, I
it
don't
was.
know what the sandwich identified as. That's my bad.
Yeah, they didn't want to judge. They didn't want to judge the sandwich, so they just let him be.
I also like to
He
point
don't.
out that he might be the least accomplished actor of all time. Like I'm looking through his IMDb, and he's just not in anything besides
Well, this might have
Empire,
been like his.
and that's not
This might
real.
have just
so.
been like his stardom.
I have a
don't know.
counterpoint. You and I.
Yeah,
Where's
no.
I am-
Yeah, but at least we have famous colleagues. Like Mickey Rourke is
God
our
damn it,
colleague,
Here we go.
and I like
Premium monster.
I was on Live with Regis and Kelly, so like I'm, you know,
What?
I'm pretty accomplished.
Were you in the background or something?
No. I literally sat right next to Regis. I talked shit to Regis, to his face.
Okay.
This was Do you remember my great grandma who was like 100 years old and she bowled?
Yeah. No, I remember that. Yeah.
He remembers. Dan, do you not remember that?
No.
Oh, well, my great grandma was like 102 years old bowling, and Regis always did this thing where he like had really old athletes on the show just because he thought it was interesting. And so my great grandma was on the show, and he bowled against her, and I was literally right there sitting next to Regis. He
Really?
Yeah, he got up.
Yeah.
He got up and he was like, "Oh, I'm going to show you how this is done." And he bowled a gutter ball. He sat back down, and I was like, "So that's how it's done?" And he's like, "Oh, why you little?" Yeah, but yeah, like I talk shit to Regis. I'm somewhat
Nice.
famous.
Not bad.
Pull it up, Jamie.
He
Find that clip.
remembers you every time he goes bowling. He thinks about you.
Yeah, I mean,
He's like,
especially now.
Show that little fucking piece.
He just gutter balls every time because he right before he bowls in his head instead of concentrating all he hears is that how it's done?
I mean, I don't know if you guys know he's dead or not, but
Wait,
yeah,
no.
yeah,
Oh shit.
he died a couple years
I
ago.
wasn't that close. I wasn't as close to him as you
Yeah,
were.
he's
so I-
close
I-
personal friend of mine. I took it pretty hard.
I was at a funeral, you know.
Yeah.
Ryan walks up, whispers, "Is that how it's done?"
I spoke. Yeah. I don't even think that clip like made it on air too. That's the funniest part. Like,
That's it. I
That's
gotta find that.
unfortunate.
Jamie, find that clip. All right, moving on.
yeah. Moreau's next.
Sure. Yeah.
I'm
What do you guys?
ready for this shit.
Yeah. How do you guys feel about the narrow chips that Elon Musk is developing to kind of unify us with computers and AI?
Oh no,
Okay,
Sounds
I have a pretty
retarded.
decent. So I think it's
I haven't.
an
heard anything
eventual
on that.
necessity, but I think it's a little early.
I don't think it'll ever be a
Be doing
necessity. There was a whole episode of Futurama about something similar.
Oh, with the iPhone.
the iPhone or whatever it is, where they just like they're like, yeah, it has no battery
Stuff
life.
it
You'll have
into
to
your face.
upgrade it. Blah blah blah. And they just stick it in your eye, and you're like, okay.
Shut up and take my money.
I don't understand why do you think this would be a necessity?
So like the way AI is going to progress, like humans will literally become obsolete.
I
Eventually.
highly doubt that.
I think they will. Not like
But
not like in the sense where there won't be like any need, but like in the sense that like there will probably be a use for like maybe 1% of the population will be like capable of actually like functioning and contributing, where like 99% of the rest wouldn't. So like you might as well like use them for data and like other things. So like you could put like nanobots in every single person, and the nanobots communicate with each other to like get like a complete medical history of the entire human race, I guess you could say. For like for
I
the
just
time.
look at
Like,
it this
use
way.
that information.
I
Or,
think
like,
I think you highly overestimate the abilities of AI and highly underestimate the abilities of the human brain, because AI will, if it ever comes close to being able to process on the same level as a human brain, like human race will probably die out before that happens. Like
It's literally
insane.
it's already better than it.
It's
like
not.
in
It's
like
really
certain
not.
in certain respects.
No,
like,
yeah,
you're
yeah.
talking
Well, in
general
AI,
intelligence, versatility, definitely. Yeah, humans are very far
yeah,
above
an
it.
AI can do one specific task very well, but
Yeah.
that's it. It's very stupid. It can only do that one thing. If you deviate from that one thing, it won't do it. Whereas a human would have zero. Oh, okay, I'll say an intelligent human, like a real human, not like a lower class citizen or something. But
Of course.
real human would have no problem handling that error. Like I don't think AI is ever gonna be better than humans, like just overall.
Like ever? Even
Ever.
in
No.
500 years, you don't think they'll ever progress?
No,
there?
absolutely not. It's just
Really?
humans are way too complex that like we simply, by the time we develop an AI or any sort of computer that can mimic a human well, we're gonna basically have just created a human, and we realize it would have been easier to give birth to it the normal way rather than creating it in a lab.
But if you create in a lab, you don't have to give it rights.
my
I mean,
my
we don't
one
have to
thing
give our
is-
we don't have to give our kids
I
rights. We
mean,
give them to the government.
there we go.
I mean, the labs are in America, so I think they are given rights, by default. You're born here. You are an American.
Okay, so my only thing is, if how many people don't want to get the vaccine, now you're gonna tell them, hey, let's put a microchip in your head.
Yeah, but I mean, like 70% of the country got the vaccine, so think majority of people would be okay with it if the government told them they had to.
I think that's a little different than a vaccine.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have to tell them what it is.
people
They
who
can just
don't-
tell them it's a
People who
vaccine.
didn't want to get the vaccine were like, "Oh, they're gonna chip us." Now they're literally like, "Hey, we want to chip you."
And people are like, yeah, okay.
I don't know. I see like the advantages in the medical sense of like it being able to track like how your body is doing. So I think it's definitely a plus in that end. But yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with Ryan, where I don't think they'll ever reach to that point where they'll
buy a Fitbit.
exceed us.
Yeah,
Well,
I think they definitely
I'm
have
just
uses
kidding.
in medicine. Like,
I
There's
think. Go ahead.
I was just say, like, particularly in instances like diabetes, for example, like AI controlling like insulin pumps and stuff could definitely help, or
Mhm.
just like other situations like that where there's a medical disease that you constantly need to monitor. Some sort of implanted AI could really help those people, but like in the sense that it's going to be necessary for everybody, I don't think so. Like there's no reason why you can't just go live out in the woods on your own and still live to be 80 years old. Like,
Of course.
there's no reason you can't. And
I
with
mean,
it,
like,
AI's not going
I-
to improve your lifespan, but like you're going to die from
It
old age
might.
regardless. AI's not going
It
to
definitely
fix
might. You never know.
I
One,
don't
one day
need-
it will, but that's gene editing. That's not going to be AI.
I don't need an AI telling me after I'm done watching porn that I'm a disgusting human being. I already know this.
So my thing
I
is,
actually would prefer for an AI to tell me that I'm a disgusting human being. I think I need a constant reminder, personally.
my counterpoint to the whole we'll never get there thing is everyone who's said that about technology in human history has been completely fucking wrong about like, oh, we'll never get there, this will never happen, this will never happen, this will never happen. It's literally all happened. So to say like it'll never happen is just not like it's almost ignorant to be like it's
well,
just
no,
like
it probably-
underestimating how far
Like
it
I
could
said,
go.
by the time we
probably
do, we'll realize all we did was just create a human. Because like,
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, it probably will happen. It just probably won't work. the
I
way
just
we
don't think it's
it will.
I don't think it's gonna be worth it, and I still don't think it's gonna function as well as just a natural human being. Like,
Well, I don't think you would ever. It doesn't make sense to make like an actual human being, but like for every instance, like for every job, right, every function in society, you could end up creating a robot that does that better than a human. You don't need something that is just generally smarter than a human in every single instance. You just go to every single instance and make something better than a human in that case.
and you really think it's gonna be cheaper and more efficient to build a robot for all those little jobs than it is to just say, "Hey, you do this job," and then the guy just does it because he already has all the skills necessary to do that thing. Whereas a robot, you have to
Yeah,
build
like
it,
we
you
have-
have to teach it, and you have to do all the testing and stuff. Whereas a human, you're just like, "Yo, you move that box," and he
The
just does it.
company telling the robot to move the box doesn't have to train it at all. It's literally just some guy in a lab.
Okay.
that they
Yeah,
just end up
but
paying
the
money
thing
for.
is, the
Okay.
the training
Guys,
still
like-
has to happen, and it's a
Yeah,
lot.
but the people who like an actual human being, right? Like I'll use UPS as an example. UPS is definitely moving in the instance of automation, despite being one of the biggest unions in the world. And like one of the cases for it is like people don't show up to work every day. Where like if you have a job that needs to get done every single day, a person not showing up could literally cost you millions of dollars. So you're willing to pay the money to get a robot that will do the job every day trained. People get hurt. People cost so like obviously like missed time or like fines for the employee getting hurt that a robot you'd never have to pay. And then like you also have like you're paying for their benefits and like you're paying by the hour versus like you pay a robot like you're paying for electricity, but like you just pay $1 million and you get a robot one time and it works for the next 50 years.
Nope.
No.
Okay. I have no. Wait. We at my work we bought 2 new packing machines that are robots in quotes that were $5 million, and they break down constantly, and it's apparently state of the art, and they have to constantly be fixing them, and it takes hours. And one time it took 2 days. So,
Okay.
and the other robots that my dad runs, they break down all the time, and he has to be fixing them all the time.
I mean that's right now though, but you guys literally said I said 500 years in the future, and we said no way. So like I think like that's again you're looking at like right now and saying like we'll never get there. Like that's like someone in 1960 being like, oh, we'll never get to the moon. We've never been there. That's crazy.
Well, we've never been on the moon.
You guys think the moon's real?
Oh no.
Get into a whole nother topic now.
Yeah, like
The moon's not real. Scientists don't even know what it is, guys. Come on.
I don't know, like I said, like it could definitely help, and like yeah, there are some industries where yeah, it'll be helpful, like you said, UPS, yeah, machines would definitely help that out because it could sort packages and all that shit. But like to your point of where humans are going to be obsolete, like absolutely not, because like the one thing about robots is they need power, so you just unplug them, and now they're fucked. Like if they don't have power, they can't really work. Like humans are much more versatile
Of course.
and could survive a much wider range of conditions than a robot, a lot less fragile. So, yeah, they may be really good at doing the task, but can they do the task if the power goes out? Maybe not. And human could.
Yeah.
I remember there was actually, so while I was working at UPS, there was an instance in the Chicago building where they had basically they had a robot doing their small sort, and it went by like lasers, like it would to know exactly where everything like was in the room, and it got miscalibrated by a quarter of an inch, and they dumped 200,000 packages they're all small, because like they're all like under, I think it was like 9 inches and under 9 pounds. It's like small packages, just 200,000 got dumped on the ground, and it was up to like the people in that building to get them back into the fucking system. Just fucking crazy. I just remember hearing about that.
That's when I would have been like, "Yep, I quit."
Yeah, right. Fuck that.
Then you
But
also
yeah,
got,
like there's definitely disadvantages, but like for the power thing, it'd be like, okay, you just have the power running. Like if you're in like a there's instances where like humans wouldn't be able to function as well. Like you're driving into work, and like let's say you work in Alaska and you get 4 feet of snow, you're not going into work. You're snowed in. It's the same instance. It's been like, oh, the power's out.
but a robot would be able to get in, like would
The
still be able to
robot
function and
stays
everything.
at work. This
Yeah, but
robot stays at work.
And but you like so like what if all that snow that's not going to cut the power out? There's no chance of that. Like
I'm just saying, like it's not just like humans also don't go into work as well. Like it's a con on both sides.
yeah, like I'm saying, so it's not much different than just having a human do it.
Because unlike a robot,
I would say the
we have
robot's more
lives.
reliable.
We are living. We have the right to have days off.
No, I disagree. But that's for another podcast.
I actually disagree with that too.
What do you mean? What?
Nah, humans, our sole purpose should be to work for whatever company gave us our first job. Like we should be 100%
Okay,
loyal
Ryan,
to them.
go back to Subway.
I would if it was still there.
I mean, so I'm not going to go with that far, but
No, I am.
definitely don't have the God-given right to a day off.
I mean, we technically
Like-
don't, but we do have the God-given right to tell him to fuck off. Like
We do.
and if he chooses to fire us, that's his job. And if he chooses to fire the entire workforce because we all said fuck off, that's his business going down the drain, not ours. So I don't think it's a right to get days off. I just think it's a very smart move by the employer to give your employees days off.
Yes,
Because if you don't,
what I'm trying to make.
the employer without the employees is nothing. The employees without the employer is nothing. So you have to have a synergistic relationship. And if one side tries to fuck the other over too much, they'll lose that other half, and then nobody wins. That's why any company I start, I'm going to be the sole employee. That way I can't fuck myself over.
And you can't fuck them.
What do you mean you're working 150 hours a week because you're the only employee?
All right,
I didn't think this
moving
through.
on, or... What was the topic? Oh yeah, the Elon Musk.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement. Robots are going to take over the world, and there's nothing humans can do to stop it, right? Right.
Yeah,
Something about
so,
it, yeah.
So far, Jussie Smollett turns into a cyborg and takes over the world.
I
That's
don't know. Elon Musk beat up Jussie Smollett.
and force nanobites into his brain.
to make him lie about it.
All right. So I think I'm next, right?
Yes.
So my idea, it's not really my idea because a lot of people have had this idea, but you should have to retake your driver's test every few years. Maybe not like actually every few years, but like between the time you're 18 and you're like 30, maybe not. But like once you start getting older, you should have to prove you know how to drive, because I can't stand driving 25 miles an hour on a 35 mile an hour road because an old person can't drive fast enough. That's a hazard.
or when you're in gridlock traffic and a guy comes off a ramp going 90 miles an hour and slams into the back of my brother, and didn't know where he was because he had dementia.
Yeah, absolutely. Like there's
He
just there's
totaled my brother's car, and now my brother has nerve damage in his shoulder.
and there's a lot of other functions. It's not even just age. It's like if you're for whatever reason, you drink a lot and now you have diminished reflexes, you can't drive well. Like it's the same thing. Like for whatever reason your driving ability has been impaired, you should have to retake the test. So I think they just have a standard thing every
When he
at
turns,
certain
I feel like,
ages,
yeah, when
18,
you turn, like,
21, 27, 35, whatever it is. You should have to retake your driver's exam to prove you can continuously drive.
I just got my license, don't take it from me.
You mean I gotta fail this another 15 times?
Hey, I only failed the road test once, so fuck off.
I mean, you already know how to drive. Like, why would you
I
be
know.
worried about a driving test?
Yeah, I'm not
No,
saying you got to
I'm
do like a
joking.
written test every time. It's really just more the functional. Can you physically handle driving the car?
Well, technically, if you move, you have to retake the test.
Not true.
No, in some states. Let me rephrase. Some states. That's funny is whenever you move to like a different state, if they see a New Jersey license, they're like, "Yeah, you know how to drive. Your state fucking sucks." But if you move to New Jersey, they're like, "Nah, take this shit." What is half of this shit? What do you mean if there's an ice cream truck on a highway, I have to stop? Why are they fucking stopping on a highway?
Yeah, it's actually I distinctly remember that question,
Yep.
and like I'm like, why the fuck?
Only reason I passed it is because Ryan talked about it.
Yeah, like what the fuck? Why
Don't
is
take
that
my license.
on the highway? If there's
I
an
did
ice cream
not
truck
get
stopped
that
on the highway,
question.
I'm not fucking stopping. Like
I also got that question.
Just fuck them kids.
right? Like if the kids are stupid enough to run out into the middle of the highway because the ice cream truck
I
stopped
think
on the
they're really
side,
talking about like 46, not Route 80. If they specified,
I'm still
then
not
that
stopping.
made sense.
I don't care if it's on residential back roads. I'm not stopping for an ice cream truck. Those fat fucks can get out of my way.
Yeah.
All right, that's definitely you should definitely stop on a residential road.
Nah, school buses, they got to learn not to walk out in the middle of the road. I ain't stopping for that.
Fun fact, actually, when I was in my senior year of high school, right? They so my bus stop was the first or the last, depending on like what side the route the driver would take. So like if we were the first, I wasn't allowed to get off until I was 18 because I had to cross the road because like I guess some kid almost got hit
What?
by a car and some parents complained, right? So like I had to either have my mom like call and then be like, hey, like he's capable of crossing the street, and then
My son is not retarded, I swear.
dude,
This is
right?
not
Like,
a
literally,
short bus.
it's literally fucking insane. And like so then they ended up doing like 'cause the schools and the school system I went to was like absolutely fucked when Chris Christie got into office, and like we ended up doing the same bus as like the middle school. So like my neighbor who was in 8th grade, like she couldn't like so she literally had to watch me get off, cross the street, and then she had to wait on the bus for like an hour and a half for it to go all the way fucking around. I felt so bad.
That sucks.
Should have said she was your sister.
No, I literally asked. I was like, "Can I just like hold hands with her and like cross the street with her? Like it's kind of fucking dumb." And she just has to wait. But nope, couldn't do it.
This Mike trying to make a deposit so he could withdraw.
No,
Gonna say I didn't know she was a whore holding hands before marriage.
actually, she's the only one out of that family. I might be doxing to people here. She's the only one out of that family that didn't turn out retarded, so that's okay.
Hey,
Wow.
She literally,
I know how that feels.
She told my mom once that she was going in. She wants to be like a therapist, so she could figure out why her family got so fucked. I'm just like, God damn. What was his original topic again?
You should have to retake your driver's test.
Oh yeah, yeah. No, I agree. I agree and disagree because like, I don't know. Maybe like once you hit like a certain, like you're probably good until you're like 50. Then you're like, all right, retake
Here,
it.
I got a thing. So you know how you were telling me when Josiah was in the Air Force, like if he got a certain score, he wouldn't have to take the test. So if you go a whole year, however long you're expired, if you go that entire time without getting a ticket, you don't have to take the test.
Okay, that's fair. I agree with that.
I don't know because the problem is more. Problem is more like old people driving dangerously, but like not in the way you'd think. Like if they're going too slow, they're probably not going to get a ticket, but it could cause accidents because other people would have to slam on their brakes. Or like if you're not aggressive enough and you can't actually make the turn, it'll piss other people off, and that'll cause road rage, which cause an accident, which is COVID related. And like,
Of course.
I don't know. It's just you should be able to drive, but also at a functional like level. There should be a certain. It's not just can you drive safely; it's can you drive and keep up with traffic. I guess is more like it because
Okay.
I
So,
fucking hate traffic.
Hear me out. You tell the police to make like that more of a priority, like driving under the speed limit or whatnot, or just like general like road knowledge, like pull people over for doing some weird shit, and they can give you a summons instead of a ticket. It's like go retake your driving test because I think you're fucking retarded. And like you also got like how like the point system with license, you could also do like every 5 points you get, you have to go retake your test. And like that would deter people from doing that shit all the time because no one wants to waste their one fucking day off going down to the DMV praying to God they have spaces open for you to take your fucking bullshit test again.
Yeah.
Well, it all could be avoided if people just knew how to drive now.
Exactly. Like that's the thing. Yeah, people would care more because like they don't want to go to the fucking DMV. No one does.
I posted a video.
I'm not gonna watch it.
It's the South Park when all the old people were driving.
Yeah, pretty much.
He's running around yelling, "Get inside!" Old people driving.
You could also do like a default, like every 10 years.
You can do what? Well,
like
that's the thing. Well, so that's the thing with the CDL. You have to constantly be taking. Like I think it's like every 2 years or every 4 years, you got to retake your test.
I think it's 18 months actually.
Yeah, it's something like that. I remember the guys from my work, like 2 of them have to go do it. But they're like, we don't drive trucks anymore, so what's the point? But they're like, yeah, fuck it.
I mean, if the company's paying for it, whatever.
The company is not paying for it.
Oh, then why are you doing it?
I know the one guy still drives for a truck sometimes on the weekends if he doesn't work Saturday. And
I feel like you make more money.
No, like if they're not working Saturday.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So like if they're like, oh yeah, we're not working Saturday this weekend, then he'll go drive a truck somewhere. And like the place is like right by his house, so it's like not far for him. All right, next topic.
Yeah, who's up next?
Me.
All right, you're
All
right.
right, this is gonna be a little bit of a long one. Does everyone have time for this?
Yeah, I
Oh
guess.
boy, I got time. Yeah, I guess. Wait, didn't you have your topic already?
No.
That's what I was saying. Maybe we should let Mike go first, and then we still roll dice.
Whose were the nanobots? I thought that was yours.
No,
That was me.
Oh, it was Moreau. That definitely sounds like a Mike thing, though. All right. Anyway,
It does. That's why I was the only case for it. Okay. So, what sport has the best athletes? Right.
Okay.
Not just in general, like the greatest athlete of all time.
So-
You could
so-
also call like this debate.
Okay. So, which sport had the greatest athlete, or what sport in general have more athletic players than other sports?
The goal is to determine who the greatest athlete in each sport was, and then put those, I guess, against each other to determine what sport had the greatest athlete of all time.
All right. I don't
Okay.
really care about other sports, but greatest athlete of all time was Walter Payton. Like, there's no question. So
Really, he didn't even
That's
make my
fast.
list of football players.
then you know nothing.
I don't know anything. I literally, bro.
Let me guess.
I
Bo
went into
Jackson. You have
soccer.
Bo Jackson on your list, don't you?
I don't have Bo Jackson. I
Really?
actually forgot
Okay.
about him.
A lot of people say
No,
Bo Jackson, but he's not an athlete because he got hurt in like a day. So it's not. Athletes don't get hurt.
He definitely should have been on the list, but
No,
he
he
didn't have
shouldn't
the longevity of the
Yeah.
of the thing. So first sport we'll do basketball.
Okay,
right?
Michael Jordan. That's obvious.
Michael Jordan, Wilt Chamberlain, or
Yeah.
LeBron James
All
are
right.
the three. I
Cut
don't
LeBron James
know-
out because he had to be carried off the court because of a cramp. So he's off that list. Michael Jordan and Wilt Chamberlain. Yeah, those are two very athletic people.
Mm-hmm.
Wilt Chamberlain might actually. He's probably my pick for the most athletic person.
Pure
of all time.
athlete. Wilt Chamberlain may outdo Michael Jordan,
Yeah.
but I don't know. That's pretty
Are we
close.
going for points or are we going for?
You're just going athleticism.
Like if you had to pick, if we were to send one person, right, who wasn't an MMA fighter, because MMA fighter is like on this list, so I pick one person that isn't an MMA fighter to go fight one alien warlord.
Oh, Josh, easily. Can't be Josh. He'll fuck whatever dog is in his way. Whatever. We saved. Humanity conquered.
Yeah, so Dan, if you had to pick one human to send to fight an alien warlord to save humanity, and we're talking about between Will Chamberlain, LeBron James, Michael Jordan, my pick would be Will Chamberlain. Right?
Yeah.
I don't
That
know.
dude slept with 20,000 different women in his life.
It's a slow
That's
Tuesday.
impressive.
How many dogs?
Probably not.
I don't know. I mean, Will Chamberlain is definitely a bit like bigger, but I mean, Michael Jordan just didn't lose.
So that's fair. Michael Jordan would probably not lose the warlord. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He might not win, but he wouldn't lose.
So
I mean, like the thing is, Michael Jordan has done it before. He's defended people from aliens. You know, the documentary Space Jam proves it.
So
he
has
has experience.
No,
right?
LeBron James hasn't done shit.
No, LeBron James went into a fucking video game.
Yeah, LeBron James. If I had to pick a game or him, because he's usually on the couch because he's a lazy piece of shit.
So here's some interesting stories about Will Chamberlain, right? So he was filming a movie with Arnold Schwarzenegger, and they were doing like some workouts, and Arnold Schwarzenegger was like, "I'm never working out with that man again. It makes no fucking sense," because he was like tall and scrawny and could lift more than Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Right? They were actually styrofoam. He's just fucking with them.
No, he's literally.
I know.
He could, it's like it was over 500 pounds, despite being 7'1" and just like lanky. And he had like a 48-inch vertical. Like he's just fucking unadulterated, pure raw athlete. He's my pick.
I think he might be the better athlete, but I don't know if I had to pick somebody to win in a fight, it might be Jordan. Because it's more than just like physical skills. It's a mentality.
So instead of a fight, right? He had to go in a combine against an alien warlord.
It's probably Chamberlain then.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. It's like Michael Jordan's definitely a close second because he was also a freak athlete.
He was.
Like he's I didn't know.
Next sport.
Football. The names I have written down right now, you guys know football better than I do. But I had Randy Moss.
No.
Adrian Peterson.
Maybe.
Barry Sanders.
No.
Calvin Johnson.
Maybe.
And Lawrence Taylor. I also put Derrick Henry down as a question mark. His career's not over, so we don't know like the full longevity thing. He's about to be injury prone and whatnot. But.
My question is, why don't you have Jerry Rice under the receiver instead of those two receivers?
Because you stick him, bro. He's a pussy.
I don't think Jerry Rice was really athletic. He was just he was a competitor and he was talented. Like he had hustle.
Super consistent.
It was his hustle that set him apart. It wasn't his physical ability because he really wasn't fast and he wasn't tall or strong or anything. He was very skinny, but he was just he hustled and he out hustled every single person on the field every time. Like sure, it's very important for an athlete, which is why he's so successful. But if he has to go fight an alien, I wouldn't pick Jerry Rice.
I also wouldn't pick Jerry Rice.
Well, just the fact that he picked.
Dan, we're helping you out here. We're not basing it off Super Bowls. So Dan Marino, he would win this one.
All right, so who's your? So you had Randy Moss down there. I just think he was fast and could jump, but I don't think he has the power to really be considered one of the best athlete. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Sort of similar for Barry Sanders, even though he was still pretty strong. But
the only thing is he does have that agility.
He was just so elusive.
But it's the agility, but I don't give him anything else outside of that because you never really heard about him. You do hear about trucking people, but it wasn't that.
Yeah.
But that's why I don't know. That's why I put Walter Payton on the list because he could run around people or he ran through people. He could have. There were situations where he could have ran around people, but chose to run into them and still scored. But
I respect that.
Not just that, he played every position. He played receiver. He lined up at quarterback. He could do literally anything. And he had the speed, the power, the hustle. Yeah, so I think he's up there. But
he's like a poor man's Derrick Henry, is what you're telling me.
He's really Derrick Henry's a poor man's Walter Payton, is really what it is. Okay. I think Walter Payton is much better than Derrick Henry.
Really?
Oh yeah. So you mentioned putting Derrick Henry on the list, And
Yeah, I've been there, but like we haven't seen his whole career.
we
so
haven't
I was
seen his
like,
career. And
I
like
don't know.
he's definitely got the physical skills, but I
He
don't.
definitely has the stiff arm.
He's definitely got the stiff arm, but I don't know which is the move Walter Payton kind of invented. But okay, I don't know if Derrick Henry has that killer instinct. Like I just haven't seen him be aggressive. He seems very calm and like reserved. Maybe I just never watched him enough.
No, you're definitely right.
And
I think he almost seems like a high schooler playing basketball with a bunch of middle schoolers. You don't want to go all out.
He doesn't want to hurt
right?
anybody.
You're like,
Yeah, he's gentle.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Gentle giant.
I don't want to hurt them. I just want to stiff arm them really
I don't know.
hard.
Some of the people that I think of when you say like physically like gifted like football players, I think of LeGarrette Blount because you guys remember him when he was on the Buccaneers
Just
and he was
hurdling
like this
everybody.
at like 265 to 270 pounds, and you're like, how does this? Why is this happening?
Yeah.
Why is that his go-to? And like he still trucked people. Like he wasn't statistically wasn't good.
Yeah, but the thing about hurdling is it's a lot of like anybody can learn how to hurdle. Like Derrick Henry could hurdle people if he learned how. You know what I mean? Like Saquon Barkley does it every now and then when he's not on the bench with his ACL torn or something.
Well, yeah, exactly. And then when you mentioned the running thing, I think of Marshawn Lynch because like he ran angry.
He did, yeah. Marshawn Lynch is definitely up there.
And he did not care who was in front of him or who he played against. He just went at him.
He put the team
Like,
on his back.
Was Marshawn Lynch more of a freak athlete than Adrian Peterson?
I don't know.
Yes,
I don't know.
It's not about running angry. It's about who's
Marshawn Lynch
who's
definitely
the combine against an alien.
Lynch definitely had more run power, and he was still pretty quick and elusive. But Peterson is just on another level.
Yeah, I think Peterson had that running back instinct more
He had the instinct. He had the agility, the explosiveness, the strength,
the speed.
Adrian Peterson's definitely top 5 running backs of all time, like hands down, in his prime.
So top 5 athlete of all time in football, like top 1.
Yeah, probably.
Not according to my. That's my coworker. He said
you were right there, Dan?
I was stuttering. Sorry.
Oh,
I said not according to my coworker. He said Adrian Peterson was overrated. I just looked at him like the man rushed for. This was after he rushed for 2,000 yards.
Yeah.
The man just was 6 yards short from the fucking record. What do you mean overrated?
After a torn ACL. Not just torn ACL. I think he blew out his whole knee, right? All 4, something like that.
Yeah.
I don't know. I googled most athletic NFL players, and the first person that came up is Tom Brady, and nothing pisses me off more than that.
No, he can play any position, Ryan. Come on.
Fucking retarded.
That's the thing I had problem coming up with this list. Is like you look up like 10 best football athletes of all time, and it's like, oh, Tom Brady, Peyton Manning, and I'm like, they're not getting what I'm looking for.
They're actually terrible athletes. Like, they're the most least athletic men in sports history.
Like, I get it. Like, are they some of the best football players? Like, yeah. Like, if I was making a franchise or getting a football pickup team, like, yeah, I'd want them on my team. But like, I'm talking about who can run a 40-yard dash, who can hurdle kick people, who can truck people, like who could bench 500 pounds.
So would we all be in agreement if I said like Cam Newton would probably be the best out of the quarterback class?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Most athletic, straight up quarterback. Yeah, absolutely. Most athletic.
Yeah. Because we're not talking about quarterback ability. Because
we're not talking about who can throw the best passes, but I mean Cam Newton in his prime, maybe, but.
So here's the football list as of right now. It's Adrian Peterson, Lawrence Taylor, and Walter Payton.
I don't agree with that Cam Newton. I say Ryan Fitzpatrick. No.
All right, Fitzmagic is just he's the alien we have to fight against. That's how powerful he is.
Once he went to all 32 teams, he ascended.
All right.
I don't know. I heard a lot about Lawrence Taylor being like, everybody's like, oh, he's the best linebacker, blah blah blah. But like, I don't know. I
never watched him play. So
I tried to watch some clips of him. Like nothing really stood out. I know he has some records, but he's no James Harrison. I mean,
okay. The one thing that stood out to me about him was the whole had a broken arm and still played, and they taped it under so he only had one arm, 2 sacks, forced fumble, and I think an interception.
That's pretty good. Yeah. I mean,
it's not bad.
But there's a lot of examples of people doing shit. Like Ronnie Lott cut off his finger. Darryl Green outran everybody with a broken rib.
For that, I would put it in for grit at that point. Yeah. It's not like athletic ability. It's just like, in a pinch, he'll get me there.
Yeah.
Was it Lawrence Taylor or was it the cocaine?
It was probably the cocaine.
I don't know.
Okay, so
People keep
all
telling me
that's
about
left is-
these magic rocks, and they forgot about cocaine. So
Wait,
all
what?
that's left is Adrian Peterson and Walter Payton. Who we got?
I gotta go with
Oh,
Walter
Walter
Payton.
Payton.
The man just like was too athletic. Like, if you read the stories about him, like he would like find like a bunch of like the college track runners and take them for a running workout,
Okay.
and he would burn them all out. Like on top
Wait,
of
what
also
I'm-
being able to tear a phone book in half with his bare hands. Like
Hold on.
he's a freak.
What I'm about to say might be a little controversial.
I'm about to come smack the shit out of you.
Adrian Peterson does have some experience in beating people up.
Oh, he does. That's true.
Does does.
and his kids should go straight to the government because
Like for real though, they should.
something on it, like in his brain or something is like a switch.
Get this man a whip.
So are we going with Walter Payton?
My vote's for Walter Payton.
Yeah.
I'll always vote for
Yeah,
Walter
yeah.
Payton.
Yeah, I'd probably give it to him.
Something tells me Ryan's gonna try to get Walter Payton all the way down on this list.
He
which
is. I mean,
Probably my thought was it's either gonna come from basketball or football because those are the two
Yeah,
like
that was my
athletic-
thought when
better-
when you first mentioned this whole thing. Those were the only two that I thought of.
You
So-
better not have soccer on this.
soccer is on this.
all right,
So,
just
yeah.
cut that out right now because
The
we know
next
they're
one
not.
is
athletes.
hockey, and I almost didn't add it because I don't think any of us know anything about hockey.
My man, Marc-Andre Fleury.
So we got Alex
Yeah,
Ovechkin,
It's
Wayne
Gretzky.
Gretzky, and then
Yeah,
and
it's
then
Gretzky.
Martin Brodeur. Because goalies, there's a different skill set, of course. So Brodeur is the only goalie I know. So
Yeah, so I
he's on
mean,
the list.
Wow,
my
Mark
vote's for
Fleury.
McFlurry. McFlurry's the greatest hockey player of all time.
All right.
X.
But his career only started when he joined the Golden Knights.
He has two Stanley Cups.
We don't talk about the Stanley Cups.
He has two
Irrelevant.
Stanley Cups with the Penguins.
Okay, so we're going with Gretzky as what I'm going to put down.
Yeah, that's what we said, McFlurry. Dude, yeah. All right,
Yeah,
all right,
Mark
go
McFlurry.
Gretzky, I guess.
So next we got baseball.
Derek
Right.
Jeter. Okay,
Cologne,
that's easy
easy.
enough.
So we got the three I put down were Pete Rose, Babe
Yeah,
Ruth,
he's-
and Willie Mays.
I'll be honest, I don't know shit about baseball, but I'd pick
Okay.
Derek Jeter
Babe
if I had to pick one.
Babe Ruth would not win in a fight.
Babe Ruth was a big guy.
I don't think he'd win in a run.
Definitely wouldn't win in a run.
Okay, so this is athletic ability. So why was Babe
Well,
Ruth
it's also-
mentioned
you
Wait,
also
what
have
about
to
if
think
it's
about-
athletic ability? What about Aaron Judge? I feel like that
Fair.
guy's pretty athletic.
Yeah, I'd probably
fair.
put it at Aaron
I
Judge.
don't know
Nah,
enough
I
about
think-
baseball to comment, so I'm just
I
gonna
would
I
say
think-
I would say Willie Mays and Pete Rose. I don't know why I put Babe Ruth on this list actually.
because
Nah, I
he
think-
was one of the best
He's just
baseball
he's just
players of all
versatile
time.
because he could also pitch, which like that's a lot of like technique,
Yeah,
I guess.
yeah,
but,
he's a
like,
great
it's not athletic,
player,
no.
but he's not
Yeah.
he wasn't a great athlete per se.
I
Is it
think-
allowed with the steroids or without?
Without,
It's like,
without
oh,
or
okay.
Barry Bonds would be on this list immediately.
Okay,
I was
if
gonna
I'm
say,
actually gonna
just-
pick, if I'm actually gonna pick the most athletic, I'm probably going with Mike Trout.
Okay, that's fair. I
Like,
won't fight that actually.
The
I
guy
like Mike
is
Trout a lot.
the guy is built like a first baseman, but has the speed of a fucking running back. It's
First
retarded.
baseman. He's built like a fucking
Well, yeah,
linebacker.
linebacker. I'm just saying, like the positions in baseball.
Yeah, that's fair. That's definitely true. So it's
Like,
between
I'm
him,
probably
Pete
gonna have
Rose, and
to-
Willie Mays.
Mike Trout.
Okay. I don't know, man.
See,
Pete
this-
Rose
win that-
definitely. I don't think
He would
competes.
win that 40-yard. He would win that 40-yard dash. He
Dude,
would
Willie
win-
Mays was fast as fuck.
Yeah, that's true.
He just played in the '60s, and he was African American, so he doesn't have the greatest reputation.
No, I'm not saying anything about Willie Mays. I'm just saying that, like, yeah. Plus, Mike Trout got hurt a bunch of times. I don't know.
Oh my bad. Did I say '60s? He played in the '40s. Oh, and '60s. Very cool.
All right, what's the next sport?
Okay, next sport. So we'll go with Mike Trout there, I guess. Next sport is track and field.
I do not know anything about that.
Yeah, I don't.
Me neither, bro. So
I
I got
mean-
use.
Is
I got
is like the
Usain Bolt.
decathlon?
No,
Yeah,
no, no.
part
So
of that or
I
no?
basically. So I was gonna do like shot putters, but I was like, they're not really like versatile athletes. They're just really strong, like upper bodies.
runners aren't athletes either.
Sprinters would be though. I would argue.
I would argue they're not because they're just very good at running in a straight line for 100 meters.
Fair.
Like all the people that would have been Olympic sprinters actually ended up being like NFL players and stuff like that.
That's also true. Like I said, I thought for sure it was either going to be between basketball and football here.
I mean, like I'll put down. I'll agree. Usain Bolt.
What are the rest of the sports? We'll give you what? Serena Williams, because Bobby thighs with brisk lives. I don't know.
Females on this list, bro. This is pure athleticism. Get out of here with that shit.
I was just gonna say, like, I don't really think track.
I don't know if I put any tennis player in a fight and I've put Serena Williams. I think I win, regardless of gender.
She might be the strongest tennis player. Like,
I don't know. So like her serve is still like 20 miles an hour slower than like the average male.
We're not talking about the serve.
We're not talking about the serve. We're talking about who would win in a fight.
But I put them in a coliseum. Who fucking wins?
Who walks out of that coliseum? It's probably Serena Williams. Mostly because if the other guy wins, it's a hate crime. So
everything about like the tennis players, I just see a bunch of twinks.
Yeah. My issue with trying to pick like athletic track and field athletes is they're too highly specialized. And like I have a lot of experience in track and field, not a single athlete among them. Like they're all very good at one thing, but nobody is good at anything else. Like if you're a distance runner, you can run a 4:30 mile for 26 miles, but you can't juke somebody. Like you get one skill. That's it. So I don't really think like it's a difference for like decathletes. Those guys are insane. That's a whole different thing. But if you're talking pure track and field, like sprinting, running, shot put, all that stuff, I think they're too specialized.
So who are the best players that you have for Ultimate Frisbee? I don't mean to skip on your list, but Ken better be there for an honorable mention.
Dude, Ken is definitely there.
When are we
longevity?
When are we getting to rugby?
Rugby's not on the list.
All right, rugby needs to be on this list.
I was making the list when you read me.
Jake Fury.
No. This man, Jonah Lemieux, okay, 6'5", 265, ran a 4.24 40-yard dash. I think he's got to be on the list.
Okay.
All right, he's going in there instead of track and field.
So next we have soccer. We have Messi, Pele, Ronaldo, not Cristiano Ronaldo, like the OG Ronaldo, and Maradona, who's considered like the greatest soccer player of all time. Never heard of him myself, but like.
All
right. My question is, in this,
he was number one on every single one. So
my question is, in this fight against the alien, are there refs?
No.
All right, then no soccer players on the list.
Okay, wait. How many do you have on that list?
4.
5? 4? I got 4. Who's number 4?
Maradona. Dude,
okay.
In the stars, bro.
I also got 4.
It's in the stars.
When are we doing is strongmen on the field, like professional weightlifters?
No, because I've actually no. The answer to that one is Mariusz Pudzianowski. It's not even a debate.
Pudzianowski, yeah, absolutely.
There's no debate there. He even did MMA after. Like
he was also a rugby player. Nobody wanted to tackle him. Yeah,
I believe it.
Right, what's the next sport?
MMA was the next sport. So we have John Jones, who's considered like the greatest MMA fighter of all time. He's considered one of the only people who is like a world class athlete, like genetic wise, to like compete with like a Will Chamberlain, Walter Payton, other people on this list that like did MMA for at that time. Next, you have like Conor McGregor. Who he's not like
I would just throw him off the list.
Let me hang on. Let me ask this. Is this fight on pay-per-view between him and the alien?
Yes.
Okay, then I'd pick Conor McGregor. Nobody can promote a fight better than him.
So the thing with Conor McGregor is that like he's not like that amazing of an athlete, but like what he does do, like his punching strength was like the average strength of 2 weight classes above his, which is just fucking
But hear me out here. If we're talking MMA fighters, it's one of the Gracies, like the guys that invented Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Like these guys regularly fought sumo wrestlers in the ring and beat them. So like I'm assuming this alien is gonna be a lot bigger and stronger than a human if we're sending our best athlete.
No, it's human size.
It's human size. Like I'll still send the guy who's really good at fighting people much bigger than him. while still
Okay.
being big themselves.
Okay, my question is Chuck Liddell on this list?
No, he almost made the list,
But
but
he has
I would
He
have ended
has
up with
the
like 50.
move. He has the move.
He has the move.
Who else is on this
Blue
list?
Mountain State.
You got-
Just ignore him.
You got Khabib,
Oh.
Uh-huh.
and then you got Anderson Silva and George St. Pierre.
No Kimbo Slice?
No Kimbo
Anderson-
Slice.
Anderson Silva can't make the list because he got busted for steroids.
George St. Pierre is pretty good. But like
So
I
did
said,
John Jones. But like just because you got busted one time doesn't mean anything.
You're not letting Barry Bonds on the list.
And Barry Bonds,
Nah.
he admitted it. He admitted it. Okay, there's a difference.
So then
Yeah.
he should be allowed on the list.
Yeah, he
No,
never
no,
got
no.
caught. Nah.
No,
Anderson
Barry
Silva
Bonds
got
absolutely
caught.
got caught.
Oh, wait,
So-
whoa. Why is so is this just strictly MMA or just martial artists? Like Bruce Lee's not in this list?
This is like specifically MMA. No, I didn't get that far.
I probably wouldn't put Bruce Lee on
I'd
the
put
I
list.
would
Bruce Lee
absolutely
in there.
Bruce Lee. That dude's a fucking
Yeah.
maniac.
Absolute freak of nature. Even if he wasn't like the top kung fu master, like he's talked about, but like it's still physically speaking, was just absolutely insane how good a shape he was.
He could wear whatever he wanted because everyone was too afraid to tell him.
Can't kick his ass.
So yeah, right now it's between John Jones, Khabib, Anderson Silva, and George St. Pierre. We'll take Silva off.
I'll take Hickson Gracie over any of them. That's what I'm saying. I think he could kick the shit out of all of them. Maybe not kick the shit. He would beat them in a fight, is what I would say.
But again, Combine against Alien.
Okay, so you're saying who's the best fighter? I don't understand the criteria, I guess.
And
Like-
the
like-
athlete.
Pure athlete.
What they're going to do is, so it's going to be like a best of 3 against the Alien, right? So you're going to have a Combine for like the first point. You're going to have a fight for the next point, and then I don't know what the fucking third one is, to be completely honest. We're hoping the world goes 2-0. That's what we're hoping for.
It's probably a dog fucking competition at the end. So
If it's a
was
dog
just gonna
fucking
say that,
competition,
bro.
yeah, it's Josh.
It's an IQ test. We're really hoping the world goes 2-0. We need the world to go 2-0. So John Jones could be GSP.
I'll say
Who we got?
GSP if I had to pick one because he's the only one I know the name of.
I
think
give
it's
it to John Jones.
See, I don't know who's better between them. They're both considered like the best in like their own thing. Like I saw multiple lists, and they either had these two guys were 1 or 2.
I mean, if we're talking strict athletic ability, John Jones is like a few inches taller and like 30 pounds heavier.
And
Yeah,
had
George
a
St.
20-inch
Pierre.
vertical. That's the thing. He had a genetic thing with his calves where
How
he only
big?
had a 20-inch vertical.
All right, never mind. Get him out of there. I have more than a 20-inch vertical. I'm not,
Exactly.
I'm not
yeah.
sending someone less athletic than me.
Everything else about him was fucking world class. All right, so we'll go GSP. I'm fine with that.
Well, as long as that third event is not a vertical leap.
No, it's an IQ test. It's an IQ test.
Oh,
Which I mean, GSP is white. John Jones is not. IQ test. You never know. So I'm saying.
The numbers are there.
So boxing, I got 3 people. Got Mayweather Jr. Of
No.
course. Mike Tyson
Yes.
and Muhammad Ali.
Ollie.
Rocky Marciano.
I think it's
Yeah,
also.
I gave it. No, Rocky Marciano.
Yeah.
Right.
Because you could ask anybody, how do you knock out Rocky Marciano? Nobody knows because it's never happened.
I know what you're saying.
Who the
Mayweather.
fuck is Rocky Marciano though?
You don't know
Are
who
you
Rocky
serious?
Marciano is? You
No.
looked up like best boxers and didn't come up with Rocky Marciano?
No. Why do I feel like this is a meme? Why do I feel like this is from a movie?
It's not.
He had 49 fights. He won 43 of them by knockout.
Is this the guy with the bitch mitten?
He has
thing?
0 losses.
Okay. that's not
49 and 0, not he fights like a man. Like 43 by knockout. He's not Mayweather. Mayweather's off the list. He's not athletic. He's just quick.
You can't. Well, that IQ test goes right
Yeah,
out the fucking
yeah,
corner.
Yeah, he doesn't have to sign anything to go here. Right? He doesn't have to read anything.
Everyone's like, yeah, he won the first one. Oh, he lost the second one. Oh no, the IQ.
Like in what universe would Mayweather ever stand up to Muhammad Ali or Tyson? Just on Earth, not even aliens. Like he doesn't belong in the
Athletically, like,
conversation.
I don't think so, but he does have godlike reaction speed.
That's great. He can react to him getting his ass kicked in the combine, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, that's fair. So who's between Mike Tyson and Ali? Who we got?
Rocky Marciano.
Rocky Marciano. I don't know. Hang on a sec.
I think Ali was just quick.
I think Ali was quick for his, but he was quick, but
He was
had
insanely
the
quick and
size.
agile for his size.
Yeah, he was the first guy he was the first like heavyweight boxer that actually decided to move instead of just take hits.
Yeah, I like someone to just take hits, and I'm going with Marciano here. You can't go against stats.
I don't know. I feel like you can't really go wrong, but I'd have to say Muhammad Ali. He's just a bit taller. He's a bit bigger than Tyson.
My thought is, right, so when Mike Tyson first got to boxing, right, he was super angry about like his childhood or whatever. And he was just beating the fuck out of everybody. And I think towards the end of his career, he became a nice guy. So he wasn't as angry, so he didn't have the juice. So I think if he's off the list, someone needs to abuse him some more or something so he can
What
become
the
angry.
fuck, Mike?
Who the hell is
Look,
going to abuse Mike Tyson?
I like how you're calling me on that, but you were calling the black joke or the woman joke I made earlier. Come on, Dan.
Well, because,
Those were tasteful at the time.
those were funny.
We all
next
vote.
one's,
We all
next one's
vote.
tennis. We're just gonna fucking remove that.
Serena Williams.
Yeah, thank you.
So last one is miscellaneous. Because there was a lot of people who like in the field I only knew one name, or like there was a very obvious consensus. Like swimming is obviously Michael Phelps. Like no one's gonna say no to that.
But again, not athletic because he has the legs of a midget.
Fair.
Yeah.
I had Michael Schumacher down.
Never heard of her.
One, because his name is very similar to mine, and two, because he's obviously the greatest racer of all time for Formula One.
All right, racers aren't athletes.
And then the third one I have down is Ken.
All right,
Okay.
I think that solves it. Wait, whoa. Hang on. I got one question about this fight. Is it winner gets a water break?
Yes.
All right, Pat Riley, 100%.
Oh wait, real quick question.
Fair.
Is this each player in their prime?
Of course.
Then
I'm not gonna put Walter Payton right now against Wayne Gretzky right now.
I don't know. Walter Payton right now is still probably pretty athletic.
Okay, then I'm going with Ken because I can only imagine him when he was in his 20s.
I guarantee you he was the exact same as he is now. Like, has not aged a day. Never will.
He had a really stressful time in college. He got his grades really early.
The only option now is just like he probably gets sore after playing frisbee. That's the only difference between that Ken and now Ken.
As he's playing, his muscles are repairing themselves. He doesn't get tired.
I'm jealous. Okay. So
Ken
that one we're going.
Ken is the alien.
That one we're going Ken. Very cool. All right, so that's the end of the list. So we got basketball, Wilt, football, Walter Payton, hockey, Wayne Gretzky, baseball, Willie Mays, track and field, Usain Bolt, soccer, Maradona, whatever, Madonna, doesn't matter. MMA, we got GSP.
Yeah.
Boxing, we got Ali, and miscellaneous, we got Ken.
All right, are we going to pit all of them against each other, or?
Yes.
All right,
Not
we can
free-for-all.
take a few out just right off the bat. The
Yeah.
soccer player out. Ken
Tennis.
stays.
Tennis out.
Tennis out. Hockey out.
Oh, let's do this like bracket style. So we're gonna do Ken versus the soccer player. Ken wins.
Ken wins.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll do Walter Payton versus Usain Bolt.
Walter
I'm
Payton.
gonna set up to Walter Payton.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Willie Mays versus Wilt Chamberlain.
Wilt
Give that to Wilt Chamberlain.
It's coming down to Wilt Chamberlain versus Walter Payton. Huh?
Yeah, right. Yeah, like,
1 and 2 seeds, so they're destined to meet in the final.
Yeah.
We're gonna do Wayne Gretzky versus GSP. My money's on GSP.
My money's on GSP. Yeah.
And then we got
Is
there's
this
5
on
left. All right, Muhammad Ali got a bye. It's fine. Whatever.
He got a
Muhammad Ali versus Ken. It's a tough one, I know.
Hang on.
Uh,
So you're saying it's a combine? So is it a combine then a fight, or a fight then a combine?
Combine then a fight.
Combine then a fight. Okay.
Yeah, we can't have Muhammad Ali beat the shit out of Ken and then do the combine. That wouldn't be fair.
Yeah, because I don't. but because you gotta remember, how is the
But then you do
is the
would you
combine
do
like
it as last?
is endurance part of it? Like, will they have to run until one of them gets too tired to keep running? Because Ken might tire him out in the combine and might be able to get the advantage for the fight.
I don't know, because one of my favorite quotes by Muhammad Ali isn't one of his like inspirational ones. It's that someone asked him how many sit-ups can you do, and he said, "I don't know. I don't start counting till it hurts."
All right, give it to
So,
Muhammad Ali. Give it to Ali. I like that.
I'm sorry, Ken.
He would understand.
Okay.
Right, I've used that Gardner Minshew quote at least 3 times this week. So
That's like my
thank you very
favorite quote.
much for,
Wait, what's the
for
quote?
letting me know.
What's the quote?
Shit, I haven't taken a shit in weeks because number 2 isn't an option.
Okay. So we have Wilt Chamberlain versus Muhammad Ali.
So, I mean, the combine, Wilt Chamberlain would win, but the fight, Muhammad Ali would win. But I guess the question comes down to who would be better in their worst task. Would Ali be better at a combine than Chamberlain would be in a fight? And I have to say the difference between Chamberlain and Ali in a combine wouldn't be as big as the difference between Ali and Chamberlain in a fight.
I don't know, man. Well,
Like,
Chamberlain's probably the freakiest of athletes we have on this planet.
The thing is, at the end of the day, when it comes to like a fight in boxing and a regular fight, I think it's a big difference. So I would have to give it to Will Chamberlain.
I don't know.
There.
I don't know, man. A professional boxer against an average Joe who doesn't fight, even if it's like like a street fight or whatever, like the boxer's got a huge advantage because he knows how to punch and he's got
Ryan
power.
never watched Rocky 5. It's okay.
I've never watched what?
Rocky 5.
I guess you're right.
Rocky, he's retired, and like the protege he trained is like, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna kick your ass." They fight in a street fight, and Rocky kicks his ass. You might be.
Oh
thinking,
shit! Yeah,
Rocky,
I remember that.
He was a former boxer. We don't talk about that. He was way past his prime.
He's also like 5'6", so he doesn't really count as a fighter per se.
Was he really only 5'6"?
Sylvester Stallone, yeah, he's tiny. I think he's actually like 5'10", but like. Hang on.
Wow, I literally type in how tall is S and
yeah,
Sylvester Stallone.
He's 5'10". He's really not
5'10".
that short, but.
Dude, he does not look 75. Holy shit!
Yeah.
God damn.
Anyway, so I was voting for Wilt Chamberlain. So, like, I get
also
that.
for Wilt Chamberlain.
Votes Wilt Chamberlain. I could agree. Like, I could agree with Wilt Chamberlain,
Ali.
but I would vote for Ali. All right.
Yeah.
So is it 2-2? Do I got to get Amanda in here?
It's 2-2.
I feel like she doesn't know who Will Chamberlain is.
I feel like that makes her unbiased.
She probably knows who Muhammad Ali is, but she might not know who Wilt Chamberlain
Well,
is.
she does know Wilt Chamberlain, and obviously
All right,
wasn't a
should I get
good
my
enough
dad on the
athlete to
phone?
be known.
Should I get my dad on the phone?
Do it. Put it on speaker, too. I want to hear it.
Man.
My favorite part is Dan's dad lived through this, so he would know.
Am I asking him who would win in a fight or just?
So you're asking him?
Hey,
Do the two-step thing. Do a combine?
So real quick, we're in a little bit of a debate. I have a question, just because you know about sports. Who would win? I mean, like, who's the better athlete? Did you say? Well, it's completely two different sports.
In a combine.
Will Chamberlain, like in a combine. Will Chamberlain or Ali? All right, thank you. Oh, there it is.
What do you say?
What did he say?
He said he doesn't know.
Okay.
All right, presented the whole situation. We have to.
Ali used to standing around in the ring for 15 rounds, so I don't know. Man, you can't really compare those.
It's okay. So we're doing. We do a podcast, and Mike's thing was you have to for some reason his thing was you have to protect the world from an alien warlord, and you have to pick the best athletes.
Has to beat him in a combine and a fight.
He has to beat him in a combine and then a fight. So we're picking the best athletes. So who? Yeah, so we're stuck right now between Ali and.
This would be a perfect time if we had like
Will
fans.
Chamberlain.
I could ask them.
So both.
Which chat
Well,
are you at?
we have a bracket right now. We All right, thank you.
What do you say?
All right, thank you. He says Will Chamberlain.
Ah, goddamn. All right. I mean, I'm fine with that.
Easy.
I'd be comfortable with Will Chamberlain going to protect
Definitely
us.
close. Yeah, I'm also. It's one of those things where I wouldn't be upset if it went the other way. Like it's fine. Like I'm not upset with Muhammad Ali at all. All right, then we got GSP versus Walter Payton.
I'd pick Walter Payton.
Yeah, Walter Payton.
Man played
Like-
13 seasons,
He
only
can-
missed one game. Set the
because
single
he
game
can
rushing
probably-
record with the fever, with the flu. I don't know. It's hard to
'Cause
beat
he
a
could
man who
probably-
does
Was
not.
it
too.
actually the flu, or are we talking like the Michael Jordan flu game? Because Michael Jordan flu game wasn't actually a flu game.
His coach said like before the game he was like wrapped up in towels, shivering on the ground.
Okay,
Nice.
that's fair. Michael Jordan literally threw up courtside in his flu game, but it wasn't. He was hungover. Like, was he just really hungover?
No, he wasn't hungover.
Okay.
I said that's I've never heard somebody saying he was. So I don't know.
People literally, I remember the day before Jordan's flu game, the people who were playing it were like, yeah, we were out at like 2:00 in the morning getting pizza with him. Like, he's hungover. Anyways, all right. So, Mro, what's your thoughts? GSP versus WP.
WP. Let's get this
Okay.
shit rolling. I gotta go to work in like a bit.
Okay. Last two, Will Chamberlain versus Walter Payton. Who we got?
So, Will Chamberlain would probably dominate the combine, but I think Payton would dominate the fight.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think more importantly, if Walter Payton's got the drive and the injury resistance. Like I said, missed one game in 13 seasons of football playing running back, and that's impressive. And then he never ran out of bounds. He never shied away from contact. So I think if it came down to like just who's got more guts, I think Walter Payton's got the win there. But like I said,
I agree.
Chamberlain dominates combine, Payton dominates the fight. So I don't know.
You fuse them to one. All right. Voting.
Hold on, I'm
I'm
looking
gonna-
at Will Chamberlain's injury history.
Well, we gotta make this kind of fast because Mara has to go to work.
I can't really find it. He didn't have an injury-ridden career, is all I found out. He did get hurt in Game 7 of an NBA Finals once.
So what you're saying is he quit on his team at the most important moment.
Walter Payton.
Yes.
All right.
I
My
don't
vote's
know.
for
It's literally 50-50 with me.
Yeah, I don't
Would
know.
you-
That's the tough one.
All right, someone roll a die.
All right. Odds is Walter Payton. Evens is Will Chamberlain. Odds.
Is that Walter Payton?
Yep.
All right, Walter Payton's gonna go save us.
Might also said odds.
Yeah, it's written in the stars.
Mine also said odds.
All right, well then.
There you go.
In the stars.
We just had a fight in real life, and they figured it out for us. So
So what that means is Walter Payton's got luck on his side.
Yeah.
So he might land that lucky punch, or maybe he'll get lucky and the monster will slip during the vertical leap, and Walter Payton's got it or something.
Snap
like
his
no,
neck.
you guys don't realize that this is figured out by the IQ test, right?
that. No such.
He
No,
might,
no,
he
we're
might get lucky on the multiple choice.
The what was he?
In which
saying?
case, definitely don't send Mayweather.
Or Ali.
Or actually, any boxer, actually.
Player boxer's probably not the best.
Was Ali stupid? I don't know.
No, but they
Literally,
He got hit in the head a
like-
lot.
Dan, do you know like the Rocky Balboa thing that he had by like Rocky 4? Where
No.
basically his brain was like detached from like the brain stem because he got hit in the head so many times. That's what Muhammad Ali actually had.
Yeah, I know. But we're talking about in the prime.
I mean, in his prime, he didn't count his sit-ups, so they started hurting. So I don't know, man.
He probably couldn't count. I don't know how I feel about choice test.
I can't
It might
count over
hurt him.
20, so I'm just gonna stop when I only got 20 left.
All right.
All right.
So the
Settle.
title is going to be Walter Payton gets injected with nanobites.
Remember, we only got
Yeah,
100
okay.
characters here. So Walter
Oh,
Payton
Elon
saves world
Musk and
from.
Walter Payton beat up Jussie Smollett.
Say that again.
Walter Payton and Elon Musk beat up Jussie Smollett, and then what was the
With
the other topic?
nanobots.
With nanobots.
And what was Ryan's?
And,
Um,
Ryan, what was your topic?
Because he couldn't pass his driver's test.
Yes.
All right,
Oh,
somebody
God.
send that to me in chat so I remember.
Ryan, real quick.
You just want to suck cock.
There we go. That's what I want. That's all I've ever wanted.
Sounds like a plan. That's it for this episode. Tune in next week for more uneducated opinions. Do you have an opinion you want heard? Have a topic you want us to discuss? Leave a comment, send us a message, or email us at uneducatedopinions69@gmail.com and let us know what you have to say. See you next week.